Thank you. What?
The Kobe 9s.
Kobe 9s.
Yeah. We've got a new unveiling pair coming out for the fight, so you guys are gonna be able to dig those.
Oh wait a minute, does that mean you're gonna be running?
Come on. That's like an oxymoron, my name and running, right?
Exactly, and that name is John Molina. Radio Raheem here with John Molina. And man, listen, you said that exactly right. That's an oxymoron for both of you and Provodnikov. Neither one of you knows how to take a step back. So when we get in that ring on June 11th, man, is this just two freight trains hitting each other?
Absolutely. That's why the match is so intriguing, man. You have two guys that are going to come forward that'll take four to give one, because we both believe in our heart of hearts, if you take our one, it's going to be a short night for the other person. So when you have that kind of stylistic matchup together, it makes for a very intriguing and entertaining fight.
You know, it looks like where both of you are in your career right now, like maybe only one guy's going to get another bite at this apple, another shot at really trying to become a star again in this sport. What is the difference between you and Provodnikov that lets you take that next step?
Oh, well, the difference is I got less of the worse for wear on my body. Say what you want, but boxing does take a lot out of you. I didn't turn pro until I was 24. I didn't start boxing until I was 17. But that's neither here nor there. You know, that's the hype of the game. You can't really read into the hype. If RUSLAN shows up to the fight 6'2" all of a sudden, wearing polka dots, I'm still not going to believe the hype, because I'm still fighting the man in the ring June 11th. So again, I'm at the stage in my career where the hype is the hype, and the quicker you let that excuse that out of your mind, the better off you're going to be.
And one thing we know is not hype is that Provodnikov can take a shot. If you have to fight for 12 rounds, I mean, do you believe maybe your ring generalship or experience in there could help you in beating him technically and not so much just in a slugfest?
Well, yeah, we're prepared for any RUSLAN that shows up that night, whether, like I said, a 6'2" RUSLAN or the 5'6" that he is. But with that being said, we're prepared to go to war. We got to prepare for a guy like RUSLAN. You got to prepare to go 24 rounds, not 12 rounds. And he deserves that undivided attention, rightfully so, given his accolades and what he's accomplished in the sport. If I gave him any less attention, I would be doing myself a disservice.
You know, there's also a consideration that this guy can not only take a shot, but can certainly deliver one. We saw what happened with Timothy Bradley. He was a hell of a warrior, but, you know, was on his way to the hospital after the fight, even having won it. Does that concern you at all, and how much does his power factor into your training? Are you looking to avoid that, or do you feel like you can absorb those shots?
Well, for me, again, you can't compare myself. You can take away that it was a hell of a fight between him and Timothy Bradley, but if you want to go tit for tat and stylistically, I'm not 5'6". I'm not, with all due respect to Bradley, he's a hell of a fighter, and I think he's a great champion and has done exceptionally well for his career. But I'm not 5'6". I don't have a 66-inch reach. And if you want, I'll take another step further. We have a common opponent in Lucas Matisse. Well, I dropped him twice. I think RUSLAN didn't. So, I mean, you can say one way or the other. Well, Timothy Bradley had to go to the hospital. Well, I dropped RUSLAN twice. He didn't. So it's either, you know, apples to oranges, I guess. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is you can't really compare where the man's fought, who he's fought, because I'm a different guy stature-wise than anyone he's ever fought. And again, you can say, oh, well, how about Chris Algieri? You guys are similar in height. But Chris Algieri doesn't hit like me. He's stylistically, or boxing-wise, he's a hell of a fighter, Chris Algieri. Can you imagine if he possessed the punching power that I had? I mean, so you can't really say, oh, well, look how he looked in this fight or that fight. June 11th, after the first bell rings, then you're going to see how the fight's going to play out.
You know, you've had opportunity, you've fought elite fighters, you've held your own, but I think that you would agree you haven't done what you've wanted to do just yet. What is it going to take for you to really get over that hump and be able to consider yourself, or be considered by the naysayers, an elite fighter?
You know, I'm in this game to fight. And someone like RUSLAN Provodnikov is a marquee name, marquee in heart, marquee in courage, marquee in chin, marquee in power. And that's what boxing's all about. Yes, there's a sweet science to it, and that's a beautiful thing. The purist of the sport loves the stylistically of someone like Andre Ward, someone like Floyd Mayweather. That's a beautiful thing. But with that being said, me and RUSLAN possess strengths and different attributes, such heart, power, chin. So, you know, for me to be victorious that night, without revealing too many cards, I got to stick to the game plan and do what I do best, which is fight.
If you are successful in this fight, and this goes exactly as you wanted to, we got Provodnikov right behind you, lurking.
You want to go right now?
Hey!
Hold him back. Hold him back. Hold him back.
Bless you. Ready to get it on, both guys, right now. If you're able to be successful in this fight and get what you want on June 11th.
What you mean if and able? I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Assume that it's not an if, it's a win. All right, so when the fight's over and you've gotten what you want, there's guys out there that you still need to avenge. You know, we've got Lucas Matisse, who just took a loss, maybe interested in a rematch after had taken a loss like that. You've got Adrian Bronner, who's trying to climb, trying to, you know, still be an elite fighter himself.
I think Adrian's got a couple of battles he has to deal with before that. I don't think Adrian's a hell of a fighter. You know, from that fight, I could just chalk it up as experience. But with a fighter like Ruslan Provodnikov, you have a guy that's not going to run from me. You have a guy that's going to sit there with me and exchange with me. And I think that's going to make a hell of a fight. You know, with the guys that you mentioned, yeah, there's definite fights that I definitely want to avenge. I think the Lucas Matisse fight is a fight that the fans deserve. I think that should have been a trilogy. I think that should have been a rematch. That's one of those fights like, you know, Mike Alvarado and Brandon Rios got their rematch. I think that's a fight that the fans deserve. And unfortunately, I don't see Lucas as the same guy anymore. But that's not the task at hand. The task at hand is Ruslan Provodnikov. And I know where you're going with the question, what do I see after a victory over Ruslan Provodnikov? And I said it before, right now Ruslan deserves my undivided attention. And if I look past him, I will be doing myself a great disservice, because if I don't give him my undivided attention, I'm gonna set myself up for failure. With a guy like him that comes to the ring to fight, kill or be killed, you got to give him your undivided attention. Otherwise, you're not going to be successful that night. So immediately following June 11th, as soon as that final bell rings, I want to see you in the ring. You can ask me the same question, and I'll have a slew of answers for you.
What do you feel like you deserve? You talked about what the fans deserve. What do you feel like you deserve? And to those who say you're a shop fighter, this is just, you know, a meat grinder, this fight. What is John Molina really? What have you done that people are overlooking, or what is it that you feel like you can still do that people are not giving you credit for?
You know, I learned once I started reaching a bigger stage in boxing that you really can't take into heart what everyone says. That's the hype. You got to go out there and do what you do best, and that's fight. I'm in the position for a reason. You know, to me, I don't think about it. I was born an underdog, if that was the case, but the way I see it is everyone has something to fight for. I fight for my family. And if you're on the streets, I don't know if you have kids, but if you're on the streets and a grown man comes up to you and tries to attack your kids or take food out of their mouth or take something away from them, how are you going to react as a man? You're going to go to war. And I would like to think every man's going to be the same way. So people ask me, what do I fight for? I fight for my family. And when I go in that ring June 11th, I'm going to go to war as if somebody is trying to take something away from my children. Boxing has provided a lifestyle for me that I don't ever want to change. And I'm gonna go out on my shield, literally, if need be, to continue to provide for my family. And that's, when it comes down to it, when it all boils down to everything, the pride of being a winner is huge. But the pride of taking care of your family as a man and as a father, it doesn't get any bigger than that.
Radio Raheem with John Molina. Good luck June 11th. It's been a pleasure to watch you work, man. We'll see you.